Okay, so now you know a little bit about how to print special characters at the console. And here we have a program started where we're changing the console color to yellow, and then we're going to print a solid smiley face. Okay, and there it is. Alright, so what if I said to you, you know how to print one smiley face? Print 1,000 smiley faces at the console. 1,000 smiley faces at the console. Well, you could conceivably copy this and paste it in and keep doing that 1,000 times. Okay, we have a lot of redundant code here and it's very time consuming. A better way would be to loop it. Print the smiley face once, but put that line of code in a loop that will go 1,000 times. Okay, and one style of loop that you can use in Small Basic, as well as many other languages, is called the for loop, and it's pretty easy to use. Basically, I'm going to put this line of code in what I would call a loop sandwich. That's not a proper term. That's a term that I like to use because the line of code is sandwiched in between the structure of the loop. So to create a for loop, I would say for, and then you have to come up with a variable name for what we call your loop counter. So I'm just going to use the word counter. For counter equals 1 to 1,000 because I asked for 1,000 smiley faces, and then so that's the top piece of bread on the sandwich, and then we end the sandwich but with the word end for. Okay, so for counter equals 1 to 1,000, that's just the syntax. We will write a smiley face. So, you know, if you can imagine counting on your fingers, obviously you don't have 1,000 fingers, but counting off 1, 2, 3, and so on. This will give us 1,000 smiley faces. So let's go ahead and run it. Okay, here we have 1,000 smiley faces all in a vertical row. If you don't like that, you want them horizontal, you can do a right instead of right line. Okay, and there are 1,000 smiley faces. Okay, what if I said to you, well, so that's print 1,000 smiley faces. Now what if I said to you, print 1,000 red hearts on the screen? Okay, I will first change the color to red, and I'll say for. Again, you have to come up with a name for your counter variable. You might want to use counter or just count. You can also use like a little throwaway name. X is typically not a good name for a variable, but you'll often see loop counter variable names are little, you know, one character names like X, Y, Z, you know, ABC, stuff like that. It's not like a variable that's going to hold something important like the price of an item where you really have to give it a descriptive name. So we'll say for X equals 1 to 1,000 because I asked for 1,000 hearts. Let's the character for the heart, the character code for the heart is 3. And don't forget your end for. Again, the loop is like a sandwich. You don't want this. That's not going to fly. That's like having a sloppy Joe sandwich without a bottom piece of bread. You need the bottom of the loop there. Oops. Okay. And there are my 1,000 hearts. Okay, what if I asked for 500 green shamrocks? We'll change the foreground color of the text window to green. Now we want 500 green shamrocks. Okay, so for, we can say count equals 1 to 500. Okay, And the character code is it's actually 5. It's for the club, for the suits of cards, but it looks close enough to a shamrock, so we'll just go with it. Okay, and there they are. So again, the for loop is pretty easy to use. It's all about the syntax, but you know, if you're careful, make sure you include the bottom of the sandwich. It's really hard to mess up a for loop.